Hello YouTube, this is Shirley426 and I apologize for being absent for maybe about a week or two depending on how you look at it. Once again, it is the season, and I work for a toy company, and usually on these seasons they have these events on the weekends, so I'm required to go out and work there. So yeah, I apologize for that as well. Today is technically, I'm filming this on a weekday, but it's also my day off, so I just wanted to make a few extra videos before I get even more busier as well. So, last time we actually did review Burning Kara. It's going to be the same format where we're going to be looking at this third unit, MagKylo. So we're going to be looking at his robot form, his equipment, and then we'll be also looking at his Dino head form, which is technically a vehicle form, depending on how you look at it. And then finally, at the end, we will be combining this guy with Rex Kaiser. So Rex Kaiser, to this guy, he becomes like a foot or a shoe, depending on how you look at it, and we'll see how that goes. After this, the last guy that's remained for me, at least, is Frozen Tiger, which he will become the other foot equipment, and after that, I'll be uploading another separate video combining all 4 units to Rex Kaiser as well, which I believe becomes Rex Kaiser D7 or something like that. Alright, so once again, he's in the box, so I'll be right back and open him from the box. Okay, I'm back. So here we have MagKylo out of his box. So once again, this is a Dino warrior. This is not one of those typical Miniforce mechs where they summon him when they need to. This is actually his own entity, so he does actually talk for himself as well, and has his own personality. Once again, if you've seen the series, or for those who have seen maybe clips in the Korean YouTube channels, yeah, so he has a weird start. Like, obviously he's a very brave warrior, he's powerful. His element is actually magma. So the fact that we have Burning Kara, who has the element of fire, this one has magma. So kind of an odd situation, kind of like similar to like the Bionicles Pohatu and Onua relationship, I guess. But once again, he's a very brave warrior. They actually show like the first fight scene that this guy had one-on-one against an enemy general type character, and this guy was like, yeah, he was no joke. However, he did technically lose, and from that loss, he lost this medal. He actually lost his medal, which I assumed he would become an enemy, but no. They only took the medal, and was like a side effect / curse they use. He becomes like his intelligence went very low. So yeah, so the main characters had some trouble getting him back to on this pace, but once again they got the medal back and he revived. Alright, so let's see what we got. Now, first of all, I would like to mention this right off the bat. Of all the 4 units that came out, Burning Kara, Sunder Tira, MagKylo, and then Frozen Tiger, this one is my favorite in terms of design. However, I am slightly upset that this one has less articulation compared to the others. Yeah, so that's my only gripe here. So I'll get into that later as we are looking at other parts. But first of all, as usual, let's go over components. So first, what you should be getting is, unlike the first 2, which had like weapons on their wrists / on their arms, you get a shield. And the actual handheld weapon, the mace. Of course, in the TV show, I think the handle was much longer because he was holding it with both hands most of the time. Then we get the medal. Once again, very cool medal, and I believe this is based on an Ankylosaurus or something like that. The dinosaur that has like a hammer on its tail. That's as far as I understood it. So once again, I believe you have to plug in something like this. But once again, we also get the instruction manual. So once again, he's a very powerful and brave warrior type character. Like, I think even the characters like mentioned this multiple times on how they work. So once again, the manual, once you look it up, it will show you how to go from the robot mode to the Dino head mode, and from there it also shows how to attach the weapons, and then from the Dino head mode on how to combine with Rex Kaiser. So yeah. So as usual, you can always have this metal plugged in as well. But once again, I believe they always go into this direction, if I remember correctly. But once again, playing with the figure, dealing with the figure, it doesn't really matter whether you have the metal or not. So I'm just gonna take it out just in case I drop it, because it's gonna make a loud noise as well. Alright, so let's start with the articulation here. Now, the reason why I like this, number one, I do like the color as well, and then with the orange plastic and the orange clear plastic are all around the place with a little bit of yellow. I think it does make a really nice color combination as well. So once again, let's look at the head. Now the head definitely can move up, down, up, and then 360 with no problem as well. So far I think this one has the most smoothest head movement as far as I can tell. Now for the arms, once again, you can't really go 90 degrees to the side because of the way how the joints are working here, but you still have a very nice 360 rotation with a ratchet joint as well, and a very nice bend, more than 90 degrees as well. And then the arm should be, if I remember correctly, it should be able to rotate 360 because of the way how it's connected here. Alright, and then here is what I meant when like this thing does not have much articulation. So there is no waist swivel. There's definitely place, or at least some space that they could have just added in, but for some reason they did not add that in. I don't know, maybe in terms of the engineering standpoint of the product, or maybe because of the combination position, maybe that's why. But once again, I was not too happy to see that this was lacking the waist swivel as well. But once again, it's a toy, so maybe they had their reasons as well, so I'm not gonna complain too much. But once again, other than that, all the like other stuff are made well. Like for example, we do get a ratchet leg here, so you can go forward and backward 90 degrees, well almost 90 degrees as well, because there's no front skirt or side skirt blocking the way. And the legs also has a ratchet joint onto the spread as well. So if Jobby was here, he would be going beautiful spread. All right, hopefully that was enough reference of him. Alright, and then once again we get a very nice side swivel, same structure as the arm as well. And then bend wise, we do get a 90 degree bend, but once again I think yeah, it's just too much of a 90 degree bend as well. And you can see there is the Dino face plate as well. So yeah, it doesn't really I believe the others, Burning Chaos, Undertale, kind of did a pretty good job hiding the eyes. This one I don't think they're actually trying to hide the eyes as well. Now, once again, there is no ankle pivot joint, so the feet are just static. They're not going to move properly, and they're always going to be in an angle, tilted here. You can see there is the flat surface isn't like this; it's like more like on the side. So yeah, and you can move the feet forward like that, but that's mostly for the transformation. Now, depending on how your figure is inside the box, this part there was this dark part that the feet may look like this. This part is mostly for the transformation, so it may get in the way of the feet. So make sure you also pull it all the way back and then put down feet on the ground like that, because if that thing is on the front, it's not going to stand properly because of the ankle. So make sure you fix that area as well. And yeah, that is pretty much it for articulation. The backside, obviously this part can move up and down, so in case you have the metal insert either way, you still shouldn't be affected in terms of playability. And then technically you have the shield here, which you can plug it in like that. So if you want to have the shield on the back, you can always do that. Or I never tested this, but let's see if it works. Yeah, if you want to plug it in the other way around for some reason, you can do that as well. Now the way how the shield is attached, pretty simple. You have a hole there, you have a giant peg there, and then all you need to do is, there you go, plug it in, and you have a very nice looking shield. Same goes for, oh, okay, give me a moment. Same goes for the weapon. You have a mace, although once again I think the handle should have been a little bit longer than this, but once again, very cool looking mace. Like I said, in the show this guy holds this with two hands, but once again, you were able to hold the mace with no problem as well. Now the reason why I kind of wish there was a waist swivel is because there's a shield. If he could just like twist his body a little bit to the side, then I think they could have made some really cool poses as well. But once again, then the second problem would be the whole missing ankle joints as well. But once again, I overall like the weapon combination here with a mace and a shield. So yeah. Alright, so we've seen the basics of this guy. So in terms of articulation, not the best, but he does feel definitely sturdy like the previous three as well. And technically my favorite design of the three so far. Yes, I'm aware of the two newly announced other smaller units as well. Apparently they can also combine with Rex Kaiser as arms. One becomes a chainsaw arm, the other one becomes a gun arm. But once again, they're more likely, the designs other than the head are mostly like recycled versions of Burning Kara and Sundartira. So yeah, so far I'm not getting the huge urge to get them yet, but who knows, we'll see how this goes. And one thing, if I haven't mentioned, yes, you do have the hands can actually rotate because they are technically on these on these ball joints, so you do have a little bit of freedom. Alright, so we've seen the basics of the robot mode. I'll be right back with the Dino head mode / vehicle mode, and we'll see from there. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the Dino head mode. So once again, these Dino warriors can transform into these gigantic Dino heads. And these are actually technically vehicles to them. So they in the cartoon series, they can actually, sometimes when they're running around or they need to evade like multiple attacks, they would actually transform into this form and, you know, roam around. Or sometimes in general when they need to just combine with Rex Kaiser, I think most of them do transform into this form first and then combine. So in this form, there's not much to show, but once again, I would like to mention that the shield and the mace weapon is actually connected now here. So that's that, and there are these small real actual wheels unlike these treads, so you can roll them around a little bit more easier if you want to do so. The only downside I would say is that the shield is only connected by one clip joint here, so you're only connected with this part. So, and the part that connects it is on the front, so if you keep touching the back, it may feel a little bit wiggly. And then for my first time, I like opening up the mace like this was very confusing at my first trial. But once again, once I got once I figured out what I was doing wrong, it became much easier. All right, so there's no articulation here, and then once again, it may look like you can do it like a roaring, like, you know, posing or making it look like it's trying to roar, but that's not the case. This is only like the bottom lip, and you can see there's these two joints that actually connects like that, so it's not really meant to open up its mouth compared to the other previous two as well. Alright, so there's only one thing left to do, is to combine this guy with Rex Kaiser. However, we need to make some preparations, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So here we have the preparations. So obviously, compared to the previous two, there is a little bit more stuff to do to prepare to combine this into the feet of Rex Kaiser. And also, after transforming this a few more times, it definitely shows that there are a lot more moving parts that doesn't have anything to do with the articulation of the robot itself. So yeah, so you can definitely tell that they put in a lot of engineering thought into this. So here's the preparation. You have to basically open up into this kind of shape. And then you have to detach the shield, and then you have to make the mace into its original form, but the handle pushed in like this. So for Rex Kaiser, it's very simple. So once again, here's Rex Kaiser, awesome toy. You have to rotate the feet 180 degrees to the other side, and then I wasn't aware of this, but basically you have to pull this one out and it reveals a peg, and after that it's all about aligning. So obviously we have these two, one large clip, one small clip, and there's actually the clip holders on the lower feet. So all you need to do is match those shapes. And once you get a nice click, and make sure, because of the way how this guy is going to be standing, you want to make sure that he's like doing the whole, you know, soccer pose where one leg is, you know, on like holding something with the feet. So yeah, because there is the tricky part with this combination is that because the feet, you're adding extra height to one feet, it's technically impossible to balance both sides of the feet when they're straight up. So obviously you have to do a little bit of extra bending here, like that, and then the rest is pretty simple. So you have the mace, you should be able to see some kind of a hook joint here. All you need to do is basically plug it into the feet. Oh boy, and that may have costed me a little bit of extra balance issues, but once again, yeah, there we go. And then you get the shield, and all you need to do is connect this shield hole to the peg that just came out from the leg. Of course, I did this, and oddly enough, it's a very tight connection. So I'm guessing maybe the peg is slightly bigger than the one that's actually on the figure. So, and there we go. We have the feet connected here. So I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this, but for now, let me just increase the height. of the camera, and then let's zoom out a little bit like that, and there we go. Here we have the combined form. So if you can pretty much guess, this is going to be mostly used for kicking, but in the show, the moment they transformed, what they did was actually, instead of a kick, they actually did a stomping move as well, and it was pretty cool if you ask me. I mean, at first I was obviously expecting a rider kick type of pose, but I'm guessing that's going to be happening with Frozen Tiger, because obviously there's another unit for the other leg as well. So once again, pretty cool concept, but once again, it's going to be tricky to display this with just this guy here, because obviously there's going to be some height issues, so you're going to have to improvise in terms of the pose. It's mostly going to be a pose like this because you know, balance issues. Yeah. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the review. So once again, Rex Kaiser itself is like really amazing. It's really fun to have these smaller units that can combine to like into the feet or become an arm, but still you're not losing an entire arm because you're folding all the stuff backwards, or it's just combining. So a pretty cool concept. Definitely looking forward in the future releases. Of course, there's still Frozen Tiger to be made. I'm just kind of curious because Miniforce so far always had like multiple mechs. So I'm kind of curious if there's going to be another mech like Rex Kaiser. Maybe this, since is more based on a T-Rex, maybe there's going to be another large dinosaur that's based on another you know, species. Who knows? But once again, so far it has been a real joy to be playing around with these guys, and and definitely shows like how much far we've come, because I've recently bought some of the previous or past Miniforce stuff, and while their designs are pretty cool, they show no, how should I say, they show no signs of proper articulation or proportions. I can only tell that their only goal was to make something from the TV show quickly, and that was it. But this one takes it to a whole new level. Anyway, that was pretty much it for the review. This was the review of MagKylo from Miniforce Ultimate Dino. Ultimate Dino is my guess for the English title. If there is an actually English version out there, do let me know what the title is. So far, I'm only working with the Korean stuff as well. Anyway, if you guys got any questions or requests, in the comment below. I still have more stuff to buy and build and make reviews on, so please stay tuned. Until then, see you guys next time.